And a warm welcome here ahead of qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Normally these streets are lined with vehicles, it's non-stop traffic jams, but today the roads are closed to everyone except the 20 best drivers in the world. It's time for qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Well, a very good evening and welcome to Delta T Racing Thursday night. So it's time for Division 2. Wish you all a very happy new year and welcome to our first race of 2025. Obviously back after a 2-week break. Round number 10 of 12. So really are getting down to the nitty-gritty of the race now. Just going to jump on board actually with Summers, who took pole position last time out that we raced. It was the last race, Jeddah. So obviously quite adept at street circuits, looking at the moment at the top of the pile. Just to obviously explain, obviously today is a sprint race, so we will have a one-shot qualifying and we will then have the sprint race. Then we have a second one-shot qualification which sets the grid for the 50% race that we will have straight after. So 2 races today, some extra points to be collected. Nobody playing their joker, but because it is a sprint, we don't know what happened to Summers there's jump on with Kazingle. But yeah, because it's a feature week, we don't have any of the jokers being played. Still do have a fair few. I think there's 8 people left to play their joker. We'll have a jump on in a minute and have a look at that, so to make sure I get that information right for you. I think we've got 8, and with 2 races left to take it, we're going to need to have a 4 and a 4. Otherwise, people could risk disqualification from the standings. So anyway, coming down the start finish, Kazingle's still leading the way. TGL Stewart in second, Hammers in third. So 39.5 for Jack and 39.8. So a fairly decent gap there for Jack at the front. TGL Stewart did look mighty impressive last night when he was racing in Division 1. Unfortunately crashed at the castle section, although it didn't actually look like he had hit anything. But anyway, going through the grid, Kazingle taking pole position and TGL Stewart in second. Then we've got third Hammers, fourth Havoc Connor, fifth Hummer, sixth Kavolis, seventh Bogorovsky, eighth J5 Gaming, so Johnny there, Rika in ninth, 10th Little Mikey, 11th Daniel. In 12th we have CRR6, which I'll come back to in a minute. Skipper in 13th. In 14th we have Double, 15th Brother Adams, 16th Scully, 17th Composite, 18th Summers, 19th Berserk and 20th Lakatsis.
With the drivers currently lining up on the grid, it's almost time to get today's race event underway. We're here on the winding streets of Baku. Baku's city circuit then. It's an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season.
Right, so we're just waiting for the drivers to set their strategies, which they have. And we'll then be on our formation lap. So obviously Kazingle leading the way. Let's have a quick look, let's get the spectator mode all sorted out. Intervals fine, detail, just have a look, see what tyres we've got. Okay, so everybody has gone for the mediums, which is a pretty safe choice, to be fair. Not sure what the wear is around here. A couple of DSQs, skipper and double getting disqualified there, so I think there might have been a little bit of contact. But it is only the formation lap, so disqualification just means they are reset to their grid position and will start on very cold tyres compared to everybody else. So everybody on mediums, as I say, I do expect Stuart to be up there and fighting, because he is good, but literally just through there where they just went there, it almost took exactly the same line yesterday, but managed to lose his front left wheel, although he didn't hit anything. So it'd be interesting to see the on board of that at some point, but I'd say from what I saw on Thomas's great commentary last night, there was nothing that he hit. But anyway, Hammer's in third, current championship leader, leading now by I think it's 30 points. I will drag it up again a bit later and we'll discuss that. But getting maximum points for using his Joker last time out, starting at the back of the grid and working his way all the way through to win, picking up a maximum of 50 points. Connor in fourth, still not out of the championship, but lagging a little bit behind now. Hummer losing space over the last, losing places last week after finishing just outside the points, I believe it was. So he'll be looking to put the pressure back on to the top two. Stuart obviously jumping up into second place in the championship now as well. So Hammers is, as I say, he's got pressure and really could do with a fifth win of the season. TGL Stuart would be looking for his third win. But here we go. Right, we're just waiting now for Lakatsis to jump on board. And we go to the front. Oh, we're going to get a decent camera. I don't think we are. Right, let's jump on board with Hummer, and it is lights out and away we go for the sprint race. Round number 10, Azerbaijan. Looks like a good start by Kazingal up front, but coming under pressure from Stuart. A little bit of contact a bit further back. I think that was Kavolis, but nothing major to look at there. Okay, so everybody seems to have got through on lap 1 without too much saying that. It's going back. Looks like we have a bit of a pile up there with Composite, Summers, Johnny, Brother Adam and Lakatsis. So it is only the sprint race, so still got the main one to come, just 9 laps today. Hammers has worked his way past Jack as well, up into third, so Jack losing 2 positions on this opening lap after getting a pretty decent start. I think Stuart did bully him a little bit, and he was a little bit unsettled, and Hammers taking advantage of that. But needs to get that gap to Stuart back down to under a second so that they're within DRS. Stuart, as expected, very comfortable and quick round here, so has a 1.4 second gap on Hammers now. So DRS is not, well, is going to be enabled this time round, but Hammers is not going to find himself within the correct distance. So 1.4. Yeah, 1.5, so no, he's not going to be close, but he is going to come under pressure from the likes of Kazingal and Connor and Hummer and Mikey, and literally just got a train at the moment down, and a small gap from Skipper backwards. And then again, a gap a little bit further back with Composite. Okay, so no overtakes there. We have Bog making a move on Kavolis there, so Bog up into, oh, what's gone on at the back? Unfortunately, it looks like CRR6's debut has not lasted too long. He is out. Is that going to bring out a safety car? We've got a yellow flag, but we've not got a full caution at the moment. But yeah, CRR6, I think it's Pipke, recently signed up. So not gone well for him, but stay in the lobby. Obviously, you've got a second chance to do it in the feature race. Brother Adam having a bit of a battle at the back there with Lukatsis. Skipper just a bit further back. Right, let's jump back up here. So apologies, missing that at the front. Kazingal has taken that position back from Hammers and has pulled out a 1 second gap already. So I wonder if Hammers might have made a small mistake. But certainly now dropped out of that DRS zone. So Stewart looking comfortable out front. 1.5 seconds clear of Kazingal, so has broken the DRS, and then Kazingal himself 1.5 seconds clear of Hammers. So Hammers going to come under pressure from Connor this time round. I would have thought to jump on board with Connor. So we've got a lot of ERS still available there, but DRS will be enabled now. It'll be closing, 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 closing. Is he close enough to make the move? He's not at the moment, but he has closed right the way down. Okay, anybody else close enough? I've got a bit of battling going on back here. It was nearly 3 wide. And Berserk are making his way. Summers recovering up to 13th already, considering he was held up at that accident at turn number 2. So he's doing quite well to work his way back through. Let's get back to the front. The Stewart now 1.7 seconds clear. Hammers just starting to reel Jack in a little bit, but coming under increasing pressure from Connor. Those two would be wise if they can to work together, certainly down the start-finish line. Just try and pull that gap in ever so slightly. 1.6 now, so they're losing time in Sector 2. They could be on completely different setups, obviously with less downforce, going to be much quicker through sort of Sector 1, which is where the straights are, and probably the end of Sector 2. But the beginning of Sector 2, you're really going to sort of struggle. So gap at the front now down to 1.4. Hammers has really dropped 3.2 seconds back now from Kazingal, and he's going to come under big pressure. I think Connor will look at making a move on this lap. So DRS now. Still don't think he's close enough. I do think Hammers is running a low downforce. So Mikey there making a position up into 5th position. Mikey also does like Azerbaijan. I remember it's one of the tracks he does enjoy. So again, I expect a decent pace from him. Bogorovsky sitting there in 7th place, ready to mop up and pick up any positions, but another safe, sensible drive from Bog. A bit of body work flying off there. Not sure which car that was off of. Looks like it was on the front wing of Berserk. Front left end plate, is it? No, it is there. I think it's Rika has lost his front right end plate. It's difficult to tell, but yeah, a little bit of damage in carbon fibre flying up there. I think Rika just dropping down a couple of places, but Summers is recovering remarkably well up to 12th. I'm going to stop talking about him because every time I go to him something goes wrong. But went a bit wide there, managed to save it, but losing a position to Rika. Hammers still keeping Connor behind him. We'll see if he manages it down this start finish line. Keeping an eye on the gap at the front as well. 1.3 at the moment. Looks like Summers has made his way back past Rika. So Summers back up into 12th, be hot on the heels soon of Berserk. So here comes Connor, not quite close enough. Manages to close in, but can't get quite close enough. Can he use this second DRS straight? Needs to get good drive out of here, which he has. Slam open that DRS. Here we go, looks like we are going to get the move made now. Connor going around the outside. And Hammers doesn't fight that and just dips back in again. So Connor up into the podium position. We have a yellow flag. Why do we have a yellow flag? We have Johnny out. Oh, geez. Johnny's having a bit of a jive from down there by the looks of it. Okay, looks like it has been cleared, so we're not going to get a safety car. Oh, Stewart looks like he's drifting around that corner there. That's nice to see. Obviously putting maximum effort into that. But yeah, Johnny, looks like there was a bit of an incident. I think it was at turn number 2, turn 2 or 3. Unfortunately, Johnny retiring from that. But as I say, feature race yet to come. So only the top 8 will collect points from here. Obviously, Stewart picking up 8 points for the win, all the way down to 1 point for Kavolis, currently in 8th position. So still points that can help you at the end of the season, especially if it comes close. But it's not the be-all and end-all of your weekend. Right, have a bit further back. Looks like Bog is closing in on the back of Hummers. And Daniel... Oh, Hammers and Connor. Hammers has made the move back on Connor again. Let's have a look, see what's going on here. Daniel has Kavolis over the back. Right, so let's have a look up here. So Connor losing that position to Hammers, but has got it back again on the second straight with the DRS. Also, perhaps his tyres a little bit better condition. So Daniel and Kavolis swapping positions again there. And then Bog, little Mikey. And little Mikey might have made a little mistake there, unfortunately dropping down a couple of places, but good news for Bog up into 6th position. Hummer will also be quite happy in 5th, 1 place behind the championship leader, but Stewart up front. Pretty much led since lap 1. But that gap now down to a second, so perhaps under a second now. So is this Kazingle been saving his tyres a bit and going for a late attack? Has Stewart made a small mistake? Seems to have enough to pull that gap back out again, 1.5 seconds. So would have probably used some ERS down that straight. So Hammers going for a late move out. Whoa, caught both of them. Oh no, it looks like Hammers has lost his front right end plate. I don't think there was any collision at all there. I think literally Connor got oversteer as Hammer's got a sort of a bit of understeer. Yeah, understeer and a bit of a snap to the right. But yes, very unfortunate. Right, who do we have down here? So Summers not having the best of days. Front wing has gone, so he'll be coming in to put on a new one. But just use these as warm-up laps. Looked like he was going to get pole position until late on in the one-shot quali. Here he comes in to pick up a new nose. Right, Bog seems to be the pretty much, well, Berserk on the back of Scully is pretty close. I'm just trying to look for... so it looks like Daniel and Lakatsis may have had a small collision there. Lakatsis looks like he might be struggling to get it back going again, but he does. But yeah, a penalty given to Lakatsis there for a severe collision with Daniel, so actually being in last position anyway. That gap at the front, 1.4. Then we've got a 7-second gap back to Connor in 3rd place. And Bog there just making his way past Hummer as well, up into 5th position. So 4 points for Bog as we stand. The Williams boys here currently in 10th and 11th. Scully looking to make a move on Berserk down the inside, pulls out late on, and Berserk is out of the session. So unfortunate there, it just there wasn't enough room for the two of them. I think Scully has now lost his front wing. And brother Adam out. Cavolis is out as well. What on earth is going on at the end here? Oh, I see. It's very difficult to see around the corner. Does look like it's been cleared now, but yeah, a lot of damage happening there. Unfortunately, losing another two drivers, Berserk and brother Adam. Okay, so gap down to half a second now. Kazingle, sorry again, we didn't see that whilst the other carnage was happening, but Jack has reeled in Stewart, lap number 9 of 9. And Jack is going to take the lead, but is he going to keep it? There's an awful long run down to the start-finish line. I'm not sure if you want to be leading, or ideally you want to be tucked up close behind with a bucket full of ERS and DRS as well. And then you will be able to pick them to the line. So it might not be the best thing for Jack to be leading here. Just behind, looks like Connor has now dropped Hammers. But this is where the battle is. Oh, I think Jack may have just clipped the inside barrier there going through the castle section, but keeps it going and keeps it fine. We have another yellow, not quite sure who that is Scully. So unfortunately, after saying the Williams are doing well, they have dropped one driver now out of the points. But anyway, here we go. Jack now going into the final official turn. Really, it's flat out from here on in. Stewart could well be close enough here. Looks like he's got a load of ERS. He will have DRS as well, so I would still put my money on Stewart taking the victory here. DRS open now, and here he goes. He is going to win it by not much at all, but he pips Kazingle to the line by 0.046 of a second. So good racing there. As I say, it's not always a good thing to lead the last lap. But the McLaren's coming home in 4th and 5th. Hummer in 6th, 7th would be little Mikey. I think he had a lot more pace than that in the race, but had a small incident which unfortunately dropped him back into the midfield. I expect him to be up there and pushing during the main race. Rika coming home in 8th, double in 9th. 10th will be composite. His teammate Skipper will be next across the line to take 11th place. Just wait for him to come across. There we go, 32. So will he keep 11th or will Daniel drop up? Daniel does pop up to 11th. So Skipper 12th. Lecatsis will be the final car to cross the line in 13th. But this is our race winner, TGL Stewart. So congratulations to him. Overtook Kazingle on lap 1. Pulled out a gap, which made it hard for them to close down, but Jack did manage to close it down at the end and led on the last lap of the race. But as I said before, the problem with this and the long straight DRS, ERS, you don't want to be leading coming out of the last corner, because you will not be leading when you cross the start finish line. Driver today going to composite according to the game. So the official result. So Stewart taking the win and 8 points for Alpine. Aston Martin, Kazingal in second. Then we got Connor in third. So a good day for Alpine, first and third. McLaren's in fourth and fifth with Hammers and Bogorovsky. Then Hummer in sixth, seventh Little Mikey, eighth Rika. Ninth double, 10th composite, 11th Daniel, 12th skipper, 13th Lakatsis. Then we have Scully, Kavolis, Brother Adam, Berserk, Summers, J5 Gaming and CRR6. So again, they will have another shot in the next race.
And a warm welcome here ahead of qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. Normally these streets are lined with vehicles, it's non-stop traffic jams, but today the roads are closed to everyone except the 20 best drivers in the world. It's time for qualifying for the Azerbaijan Grand Prix.
Okay, welcome back. So we have our second one-shot qualification of the night. Drivers just selecting their setups. One thing we do as well, which I forgot when I set the lobby up last time, is we leave Parc Fermé open during a sprint race, so you can make a change between the sprint race and the feature race if you need to. Right, so let's go. Who shall we jump on board with? We're so on board with Little Mikey for now. Oh no, we won't. I'll tell you what, we're going to go on board with Stuart. There's Stuart. That's who I want to be on board with. Okay, so let's see Stuart through. Summers again heading the times over the first few turns, which he did last time as well. So look pretty quick over a lap. So Stuart currently fourth position. Scully looking at fifth. Having a good opening sector there. CRR6 unfortunately retiring from qualifying as well, so he'll be starting at the back of the grid. Stuart now working his way back up to second. I think Stuart's really good around that sort of castle section and sort of leading up to the straight here, which is where he seemed to make most of his time in the sprint race. Let's have a look. Is he going to keep it, Jack, or is he going to lose out to Stuart? Here we go. Coming to the line now, or not now, now. I was a bit early there, and Jack does a 39.313. So taking pole position in both races. Stuart with another second position, but I'm sure he'll be more than happy if he can replicate what he did in the sprint race in the main race. So here we go. So Kazingal taking pole position, Stuart second, Summers getting third position. I did say he had decent pace around here. Connor in fourth. Then we have Hammers and Mikey in fifth and sixth. Bog in seventh, eighth Rika, ninth Kavolis, 10th Scully, 11th Hummer, 12th Brother Adam, 13th Daniel. 14th is Johnny, 15th double, 16th composite, 17th skipper, 18th Lakatsis, 19th is CRR6, so Pipkey, and 20th is Berserk.
With the drivers currently lining up on the grid, it's almost time to get today's race event underway. We're here on the winding streets of Baku. Baku City Circuit then. It's an unpredictable 3.7-mile track around the streets of the Azerbaijan capital. 20 turns for our drivers to navigate today, including the infamous Turn 8, one of the tightest and most challenging corners of the season.
Well, welcome back. We are just about to start the formation lap. Everybody has chosen their setup and their tyres for this opening stint. That's what I was going to do, have a quick look to see what tyres everybody has gone for. So basically a complete mixture of hard and medium. The front runners pretty much going for the mediums, other than Connor, who does like an opposite strategy, I have to admit. Quite often see him going for the alternate tyre, looking to take it long. Cavonis and Scully 9th and 10th also on the hards. Then we've got Hummer, Brother Adam Daniel and J5 Gaming all on the mediums, and then the remainder on the hard tyres. So a mixture of strategies there. So should be looking at just the one stop race. So Jack leading the way as he did in the main race. Zerk will be at the back of the grid, and CRR6, as I say, he has literally joined us within the last week or so. Signed up to drive at DTR. So a very warm welcome to you. But yep, CRR6 he races under on PlayStation, but we know him, I think, as Pipkey in the Discord server. So good luck to you. Hope you have a bit better luck than you did in the main race. So I've got quite a gap in the cars between Little Mikey and Bogarovsky. But yeah, I think the ones to watch in this race here, I mean, obviously right at the front, which always helps, but I think Jack and Stuart have shown their pace. Hammers as well, if he can. I think he dropped off towards the end. I'm not sure if he had a little spot of damage or whether he just overworked his tyres, but dropped off quite a bit towards the end. Hopefully he can, well, not have that issue this time around. So I assume we are going to have the same rubbishy camera angle as we had before, which we have. So I'm going to jump on board with Summers, and can't see the lights. Yep, lights out, and away we go. Not a great start from Kazingal out front. Go on, please change. There we go. Oh, and we have a bit of a dive there from Mikey up the inside. Bit of contact going on in the background, and we've lost someone. Looks like Hummer is out. Oi, 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 what happened there? Virtual safety car after lap number 1, losing 3rd place in the championship. Hummer at turn number 2, turn 1 I think it was. Ay, ay, ay. So couldn't quite see what happened there, but it looks like Hummer was on the inside, got caught and went into the wall. So whether that was just a loss or whether that was induced by somebody else, not 100% sure. But also while that was going on, missed Stewart taking the lead. So straight away he is meaning business and jumped ahead of Kazingal. Hammers in 3rd ahead of Summers. Now Summers got a poor getaway from the line. Initially it looked quite good, but I think Jack had a fairly bad one in front of him as well, so obviously allowing Stewart and Hammers to make up the position. Little Mikey getting involved just a little bit, I think, with Summers and Connor. I think it was more of a bit of a sandwich, but nothing too major. So it's saying virtual safety car, but I can see a yellow dot out at turn number 2, so I think we are going to a full safety car. Obviously anybody that sustained damage at the front there is going to get pretty much a free pit stop. Could potentially go hard tyres to the end of the race, but that is a risk. So is anyone going to come in to repair any damage? So not out of the lead bunch. Anybody else? Nope, doesn't look like we have any. Oh, here we go. Is that Brother Adam? No, CRR6. So not the ideal start for him. He's on the hard tyres, so if he's got two sets of mediums, he could make a strategy here and go for medium. And he has changed tyres. Brother Adam just behind, looks like he's had a wing change. Right, so lap 1, turn 1 or 2, basically we now have our first safety car, same virtual safety car, but obviously you could see the Aston Martin out front there is keeping the pace. So Stewart overtaking Jack up into the lead, so Jack dropping a place from his pole position. Hammers up past Summers into 3rd, so Summers down to 4th. Little Mikey keeping 5th position. Looks like, I think Bog might have dropped a position there. I think he might have started from 6th. I'll tell you what we do. Let's have a look at position changes. No, Bog maintained position, so Connor down 2. Hammers up 2 actually. So it was a good start from him. But long way to go. Still got 24 laps at the end of this one. So saying about the Joker, left to play we have Brother Adam, Ralph, Cavolis, Rika, Wazza, Double, Scully and Lacatsis. They all need to take that before the end of the season. A quick look, as I say, at the table. Hammers there leading 164 points to Stewart's 134, so a 30-point gap there. Hummer was a further 6 points behind, picked up some in the sprint race, but unfortunately now being a DNF in the feature race, that is going to knock him back, especially if Kazingle can pick up some points in 4th position. Could really start putting Hummer under pressure for the top 3. Bogorovsky 89 points in 5th position. Then a Little Mikey in 6th with 81. Connor in 7th with 76. J5 Gaming is 55 points in 8th. Cavolis 51 points in 9th. And Wazza rounding out the top 10 with 47 points. And constructor-wise, McLaren leading the way on 253 points. But Alpine are making a late dash for this championship. So there's still 3 rounds left, including today, and then we go off to where the next race is, to be honest with you. Let's bring it up. Miami, that's it. So we're off to Miami and then we end at Suzuka. But yeah, so constructor wise, Alpine 43 points behind. Red Bull a little bit, well, they're 100 points behind on 153 points. Aston Martin in 4th with 151. Haas with 128 in 5th. Then we have RB in 6th on 76 points. Ferrari in 7th on 63. And Sauber 31, Mercedes 13 and Williams bottom of the pile with 12 points. Okay, so the field looks bunched up. Race control have said the safety car is coming in this lap. So when is Stewart going to go? He is going to bunch everybody up, I am sure, but just needs to make sure he keeps constant speed. We can't have you going and stopping and going and stopping. So we are waiting now. Looks like Jack's not weaving too much. He's just waiting for Stewart to hit the hammer. So Jack now not moving at all. He's literally just waiting for Stuart to go, which he hasn't yet. He's gone now. A good restart by Stuart there, to be honest. Had us all guessing as to when we are going to be restarting, but we are go again. So Stuart leading the pack down to turn number 1. Little Mikey and Connor looking for an overtake, but didn't make it. Right, let's jump back to the front. Gavola's picking up a tip, ignoring yellow flag. Must have gained a position and didn't get it back. Connor again looking for a move on Mikey. Looks really impatient, wants to get past that Haas as quickly as he can. Obviously his friend Summers in 4th position, so I'm sure, I don't know if they're in a chat together, but I'm sure they'll be egging each other on. So Hammers again losing touch with Kazingo as he did in the sprint race. Just seemed to not quite have the pace of the front two. Berserk and Composite changing positions there. Not quite sure what happened, but let's jump back to the front two here, because Jack is keeping square on the back of Stuart. DRS will be enabled this lap. So we have 1 lap after the safety car and then DRS gets enabled. Zingle there picking up the fastest lap of the race, and Hammers has now pulled in. Seeing what was going on at the back here. Looks like CRR6 is lagging a little bit, but makes his way past Brother Adam, I think, up the inside. Johnny losing a couple of positions there, so again I don't know if he's been bullied out of a position or whether it was a small mistake, but whoa, double and Lakatsis. Double managed to recover, but Double was just nudged ever so slightly sideways there by Lakatsis trying to get through, but this is really bunched up at the back. I want to get to the front, but this is actually quite exciting racing at the back here. We'll go back to that in a minute. I just want to see at the front here, because with DRS now enabled, Jack has taken the lead again. Completely missed that whilst I was looking at the fighting at the back. Stuart is closing, but Stuart also has to be careful because he's going to come under pressure from Hammers, which he has indeed. So Hammers around the inside, doesn't make the position. TGL Stuart managing to keep hold of that. So in the background looks like Bog and Eureka battling away, but Hammers, I think, is getting himself back up to pace. But he has dragged Summers and little Mikey with him. So Eureka does make his way past Bog up into 6th position, so Bog currently down into 7th. But that's where Hammers seems to struggle, is through the castle section. Seems to be where he loses a little bit of time to the guys just in front of him. Sort of 2-3 tenths. but it's enough that can just drop him out of that DRS zone, or even just far enough back in DRS, but it's not quite as effective as it could be if you were a little bit closer. But anyway. So Stewart 0.7 behind and closing, obviously, with the DRS. But again, it's not one of those races where you're too disappointed to be in second position. Just let the car in front use their ERS and tow you along. Just need to make sure that you're not susceptible to the car in position number 3. How are these getting on down here? Because it was a real gaggle a little while ago. I mean, it still is, but it's kind of petered out. It was 7 or 8 cars. I think they're down to about 4 now. And then another 3 that have... What happened to Connor? He missed what happened to Connor, but Connor has been launched down the field. So he was up there fighting a little while ago. So unfortunate for him. Currently down in 18th. It's a long way to go, but he will be on probably a set of mediums now. So he probably could go mediums, or at least put a fresh set of hards on. But starting on the hards, that has unfortunately ruined it for him, looking to go long. Right, what we've got going on back here? Got Berserk and Composite. Anybody else involved? Looks like the Catsis was involved. So it's been quite an eventful day for the Catsis, to be honest with you. Seem to see a Ferrari involved in various things, but that's spread the field out down the bottom a bit. Connor up into 17th position now, so he'll be looking at making a recovery drive. Safety car. Why do we have the safety car? Is that because of the Catsis' crash? There's no real reason for us to have a safety car. We've had worse on track. But so everybody at the front coming in to put new tyres on. Let's have a look to see what everybody is going for. So pretty much everybody on mediums now going for the hards, which is sensible. Some that are on the hards staying out, which again is pretty sensible. So, as it stands, Kavolis leads the way in the RB. Kazingle, so Jack just behind him in the Aston Martin. Stewart in 3rd in the Alpine, and Scully up into 4th in the Williams. Obviously yet to stop, so 7-lap old hards. Then Hammers in 5th position. So Hammers will obviously want to get past Scully as quickly as he can to get right onto the back of Kazingle and Stewart. So Hammers might find the hard tyres a little bit more to his liking. Summers still in 6th position, so he's again having a strong race. We're just waiting for the back markers to catch up with the Catsis. As I say, has been involved. Nearly hit the wall there. Has been involved in a few incidents today. I'm sure he'll be more than happy to get onto the back of the pack again. So safety car is not coming in this lap. Obviously waiting for those final 2 to catch up. So we'll have one more lap under safety car conditions before we go back to green flag. So nearly a third of the way through the race now. And just the one retirement, which was Hummer on lap 1. So, championship-wise, Stewart in third position, currently second in the championship. Jack in second, currently fourth in the championship. Hammer's championship leader in fifth, and third place in the championship. Hummer, unfortunately, back in the garage watching this on his TV. But still a lot of points to go. But a decent result here with just 2 rounds left to go will make it a little bit more interesting. So hopefully we'll go down to the final race of the season at Japan. Be nothing like seeing a good old-fashioned title decider at Japan. We haven't seen that for many a year. Obviously a fair few incidents with Prost and Senna. So it does have some history there for title deciders. Hopefully we won't see anything like that in our racing though. So here we go, safety car is coming in this lap. How good a job is Kavolis going to do at getting the jump? Kazingal just behind him. Stewart, we know, can do a pretty good restart from what we saw last time, but it's not now down to him. He needs to react rather than be the instigator. Is he gonna go? He's gone. Again, pretty good drive there, but who hasn't got a good drive is Jack, because Stewart is now all over the back of him. And we'll take the inside of that turn, gives him enough room though, so a good overtake there. I'm not sure if they still side by side, they're not. Jack concedes that position to Kazingal. Very wise to do, my friend. You've got a long way to go in this race yet. But Stewart is in a rush to get on with this and is already making a move up the inside of Kavolis. And Jack will look at doing the same as quick as he can. Round the outside there is not a good place to be. But round the outside of this one is a little bit better, because then that becomes the inside. A little bit of contact there, but nothing too major. And Jack back up into second place. So he'll now look at closing that gap down as quick as he can to Stewart, keeping within the DRS. And using Stewart to tow him along. So Kavolis now down into fourth, lost a position there to Hammers as well. Bog, what's happened to Bog? We have a virtual safety car. There's Bog, lost his front right end plate, so yeah, it looks like Bog and Double have had a bit of a coming together. Bogarovsky unfortunately picking up a 10-second penalty plus wing damage, so he will come into the pits, I'm sure now, and probably serve that 10 seconds, get a new front wing put on, strap on a set of mediums, and continue in this race. But virtual safety car, I think that's number 2. We've had 2 safety cars. We had a virtual safety car that turned into a safety car. So is Bog going to come into the pits? I don't think he has much of a choice, to be honest. But Double does in front as well. So did Double have wing damage? No, I think he's just ditching those tyres. Right, so quite a few coming into the pits towards the back here. So Bog, I'm sure, will serve his 10 seconds. Yeah, there they are, just standing there looking at it for 10 seconds, trying to figure out what to do. And now they will go. So Stuart again behind. Oh, sorry, it is a full safety car. Why does it keep telling me it's a virtual safety car? But yeah, we have our third safety car of the evening, lap number 11. And still 15 laps to go, plus the one that we are on. Right, so the field should start condensing up again. I think we're going to have one more lap under the virtual safety car before we get underway. Let's have a look to see how many pit stops people have had. So a lot with a couple, majority only one. Skipper currently up in 7th place, Berserk in 8th. So the biggest gainers, 10 and 12 places respectively from their starting positions. Penalty wise, we don't have any, so everybody that had one has been able to serve it. So Summers now into the pits. Strap a fresh set of hards on, was that to take him to the end of the race? Yep, fresh set of hards, so he will not need to pit again. Rika holding his own up in 4th position. So his teammate Cavolis led briefly for the safety car restart. Currently down in 12th position, but on a nice fresh set of tyres now. Or at least I think they're fresh. Yeah, 1 lap old. Okay, so safety car should be coming in this lap. Should get a message briefly. So what's Stuart going to do this time? Is he going to go the same place as he did last time, or is he going to look at catching them out and going a little bit earlier? Let's see. Right, there we go. Safety car in this lap. So Stuart becomes the pace car. So now just need everybody to form up behind. Obviously sometimes it can cause that little shock wave, everybody braking to just reduce the pace ever so slightly. But here we go, Stuart now in charge of this field, and he's ready to put his foot down as hard as he can on that accelerator. Approaching halfway distance of round 10, the Azerbaijan Grand Prix. So round number 10 of 12, so just the 2 to go after this. Stewart's gone. So he waited for the DRS line and then went Jack again, not getting a great start, and Hammers looking to make a move up the inside. Rika there just nudging the inside of Hammers. I think he wanted to make the move there. What have we got going on at the back? Everybody made it round. So Cavolis and Johnny up into P11. Right, let's get back up the front. So again, Stewart and Jack taking the advantage and pushing ahead. What is going on down the back here? Right, okay. So Jack really putting pressure on Stewart this time, not allowing him to open up that gap like he did last time. And Stewart very good at just pulling out that 1 second and then being able to manage it from there. But this time it looks like Jack is not having any of it. I think we could see a potential... No, well mind you, we've got no DRS this lap, so... But he will have the slipstream. He can use his ERS, but the problem is you use your ERS, you then become susceptible to the re-overtake down the first straight after turn number 2. So no, we are as you were. Brother Adam making a move up the inside of Skipper, and everything else looking pretty good through there. Right up at the front, so Stewart does make the move on, or sorry, keeps the lead from Jack. I think it'll be the next lap if Jack is that close. He can use the DRS to just sail on by, but does he want to? Or does he want to sit behind lap after lap after lap and then make the move on the last lap? The same as Stewart did to him in the sprint race. That would be the ideal strategy, but it doesn't always work that way, especially when you've got Hammers just over, or just under a second behind as well. And there, Hammers losing another 2/10 through that sector there. So I do think he might be a little bit lower on downforce, which is why he's struggling through that castle section, but then seems to be able to eke it back down the straight. But 1.1 behind, he's not going to have the benefit of DRS this lap, but Jack is. Jack tucked up 0.3 behind Stewart. Jack staying tucked up behind there, but this has allowed Hammers to close in again. So is Jack going to go for the move here? Then moves to the inside, makes it look like he's going to, but again quite happy to just sit behind for now. Right, what is going on back here? Got everybody threatening for a move and no one making a move. The Bog is now past double and up into 13th. So this front three have broken away. So now a 4-second gap back to 4th position. That's why Hammers doesn't want to drop off the back of this train if he can, because he's going to find himself in no man's land. Here we go again. So Jack is within DRS. Hammers will be within DRS because the detection is here, and to open it is here. So yeah, Hammer's just doing enough to keep himself within the DRS detection. Little Mikey looking at making a move on Rika. So Little Mikey now up into 4th place. Brother Adam, we've got... Whoa! Right. A little bit of contact there with about 4 or 5 cars involved in it. We have a yellow flag, but we don't have a safety car yet, although the way Brother Adam is spinning around there, I wouldn't be surprised. Daniel has left. What? Did Daniel retire in the pits? Not quite sure there. I thought he was on track, but I didn't see an accident that would have retired him. We had no yellow flags other than that one down into turn 1, unless he was involved in that. But we shall continue. But Jack has pulled out nearly a second gap on Stewart, which could be absolutely huge if he can keep that. But it kept now down to 9/10 already, so I think these guys know just when to pop on the ERS to make sure that they get to that detection zone, which is here, within that second of the group ahead. But it just goes to show how powerful the DRS can be. The fact that Mikey's 5.5 seconds further back, and he's pulling away for Breaker now. So right, any moves? Any moves? Looks like Cavolis might go for a move on Scully and thinks better of it. It's pretty sensible, to be honest with you. Into the pits is Connor and Double. Alright, so that 1 second gap that Jack had has completely gone now, back down to half a second. But Hammer's also within touching distance of the 2 of them. So these 3 really have broken away. 6.5 seconds on Mikey now. And Mikey nearly 2 seconds ahead of Rika. So he really is in a little race of his own, really. And then we've got Scully in 7th that has 3 drivers all within a DRS train, including Cavolis, Johnny and Bogorovsky. And Summers down in 11th, so it was looking... It still does have good pace around here, just doesn't seem to have a huge amount of luck so far. Berserk dropping a couple of positions there to Johnny and Bogorovsky. Oh, was he going to go for a move there? Yep, he was. Stewart does indeed go for a move and take the lead. I think Jack was harvesting, to be honest. I think he was quite happy for Stewart to take the initiative. He can use his ERS whilst Jack recharges his under DRS behind. You can see just easing off the throttle. Why his hands drop back? Berserk into the pits. And out of the pits, what's he gone for? A fresh set of medium tyres. And let's have a Connor now right behind him. Okay, let's get back to the front because Kazingle is keeping Stewart very honest. Has got a good battle down in 6th position. I want to have a look at some point. A quick look down here, going through the castle section. All fairly close together. So Hammer's probably the closest he's been going along this start-finish line, and he will not be shy about making the move on Jack and starting to put the pressure under Stewart if that is what is needed. But again, from a tactical point of view, it's sometimes best to just sit behind, recharge your ERS, use your DRS to just draw yourself closer. Nope, still no move. So it looks like it's going to settle it into a little bit of sort of conservation driving at the moment, I think. Connor is now past Berserk along the start-finish line. Berserk closing under braking, but not being able to get close enough to make the move back on Connor. So front three pretty much as it has been for the majority of the race. See, we've had different leaders, but Hammers has been sniffing sort of third or fourth position for pretty much most of the race. Little Mikey currently in fourth, but 9.5 seconds back from this group. But he does have a nice buffer of nearly 2.2 seconds over Riker, or Riker, I never get his name right. Kavolis in 6th currently, 4.5 seconds further back, and he has Bogorowski and Johnny all over the back of him. Yeah, I think this is just being a bit conservative driving at the moment, but Bog has had enough of staring at the backside of Kavolis and makes that move up into 6th position. Is he going to be able to keep it though, or is Rika going to go for a late dive down the inside? Yeah, it was fair, probably a tad on the late side, but it was fair. So a good overtake there by Kavolis, regaining his 6th position that he lost off Bogorowski probably the corner before. CRR all over the back of Berserk now. Berserk's bouncing off the wall a little bit there. I think he's on controller as well, Berserk. So street tracks, they're not easy. They're not easy on a wheel, let alone on a controller. So hats off to anyone that is using a controller. Here we go, Jack now closing. Is he going to make the move? He does now make the move on Stewart. I'm sure Stewart will be quite pleased of that. Allow somebody else to lead, give him a chance to regain some of that ERS energy. A bit further back, Bogorowski again going for the move on Kavolis, which he does. So will he now be able to keep that heading down towards turn number 3? So Kavolis obviously getting the extra dose of DRS. Can close, here he comes, closing. Bog should go to the inside there to block that off. Keeps that position there. I think Kavolis just sticking his nose in a little bit late there, so you always expect it to be chopped off. But Luckily no damage, so Bog up into 6th and maintains that position. Meanwhile, the front three are still within DRS of each other. So here we go, Jack back into the lead. Is Stewart going to take that lead back? So it looks like he is. So is Jack now going to make the move down the straight? So we'll have DRS. But not overly interested at making the move. Meanwhile, Bogrovsky keeping ahead of Kavolis, so managed to pull out enough of a gap to not get caught down the main straight there. Gap currently at 0.6 of a second. It's closing. Obviously, Kavolis does have the DRS here. So Bog will want to open that gap up to over a second as quick as he can. Johnny will obviously want to get past pretty damn quick as well, considering he's now coming under pressure from Summers a little bit further back. So Hammers again just content sitting a little bit further back, just letting these front two do all the work. Right, is Jack going to go for it this time? So he's not using any ERS at the moment. Has the DRS open and makes the move, and Hammers also making a move up into 2nd position. So Stewart losing 2 positions down that straight. Bog now coming under pressure again from Kavolis, so wasn't able to pull out a big enough gap, and has now lost the position to the RB, although it looks like the RB might have had a bit of a poor exit there. A bit of a squirm on's now pushed Bog out a little bit wide, and Bog now coming under pressure and losing a position from Summers. Uh-oh. Hammers has dropped out of the DRS zone to Kazingal, so 1.6, 1.7, 1.8, 1.9, which means Stewart is also out of that DRS. So Johnny now making a position on Bog and then giving it, I'm not sure if he gave it back or whether Bog took it back. Might have been a little bit of contact there, so it might have been a gentleman's thing to give the position back. So I would expect Stewart to make the move here, because he is not going to be happy now that he has dropped out of DRS zone on Jack. But they now have that down to about 1.2 seconds, obviously with the advantage under the DRS. But I would have expected Hammers will probably get the DRS now, which he does. Doesn't seem to have pace to get past Stewart on that straight. So has Stewart has used quite a lot of his ERS, but needed to close that gap back to make sure it was under the second, otherwise he could throw away this race, as it is currently 1.1. Katsis making up a position there up into 16th. I'm not sure what happened there. I think Brother Adam might have hit the outside of the track. I think that was a reset to track as well. We will see on that one. So Stuart is within DRS of Kazingle now. Lap 25 of 26. So Stuart quite cleverly in the sprint race sort of slowed and allowed Kazingle past on the last lap so that he could get that run down to the start finish line and pit Kazingle to the win, which he did do. Little Mikey now coming under pressure from Rika, so 16.6 seconds back, Mikey. Summers now over the back of Kavolis looking for a move around the outside. Is he going to make this stick? He does. Good move again around the outside from Summers. Seen some good moves from him so far this season. Jack's out. Jack's out. What happened to Jack? Jack. No, not through the castle. Not through the castle. Jack. He's gone, but it was here. He was through the castle section. Oh, Jesus. I don't know if there was contact, whether he's just lost it, but unfortunate for Jack. Now with a DNF, so Kazingle out of the race on lap number 25, so just a lap and a half left to go. So Hammer's now in prime position to win this, really, if he can sit behind. So Stuart would be more than happy to let Hammers past. No, 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 no. Yeah. No. Stuart trying there to get Hammers to just overtake him just so he could have that final run, but Hammers having absolutely none of it. So a bit of gamemanship going on here. This could be one of the slowest laps of the race here today, I think. So you can see that Stuart there is literally in no deployment on his ERS, flashing away. He will be harvesting as much as he can and will hammer that button as soon as he gets onto that start finish line and hope that Hammers just doesn't have enough to reel him in. Here we go. It's going to be such a slow lap, this one. So here we go, coming down to the final turn now. I think Stuart knows it is a matter of it is what it is now, but he has turned his ERS on full. He will be on hot lap, he will be deploying, he will be hoping, but here comes Hammers. He's closing in on the Alpine. Will have his DRS open very, very shortly. Opens it up and takes the win. So Hammers bringing home 25 points for McLaren and pipping Stuart to the win there. I think Stuart knows exactly how Jack felt in the sprint race there, because that's exactly what he did to it. But Rika has surpassed little Mikey and got onto the podium, so Mikey down into fourth. Fifth, D Summers, great race after the incidents that he had there. So Kavolis coming home in sixth, Bog in seventh position. Johnny coming home in eighth again, quite an incident-strewn race. And here we have Scully coming home in 10th, Berserk in 11th. And we're going to be looking at the two Kick Saubers of Composite and Skipper for 12th and 13th. Good to see. CRR6 is going to come home in 14th and finish his first race. Double will be in 15th place. And last but by no means least is brother Adam. Looks like he does not enjoy this track. And quite a few. Okay, so brother Adam didn't want to finish the race off. But anyway, race winner is Hammers. Stewart in second and Rika in third position. So that is the podium there. So some good racing, some massive patience by Hammers. Just seem to be happy to sit behind everybody and just wait for the right moment to strike. So there's Hammers taking the top step of the podium and extending his championship lead. Obviously, TGL Stewart in second place was second in the championship as well. So the lead will be increased by the 7 points difference that's here, meaning 37-point gap going into the final two races. So Hammers really only needing to secure 14 points. Oh, no, 15, 16 points. Right, let's have a look. Results for the race. So Hammers taking the win. TGL Stewart in second. Rika in third. Then we have Mikey and D Summers. Kavolis and Bogorovsky in 6th and 7th. Then Johnny, Havoc Connor and Scully rounding out the top 10. Then we have Berserk in 11th, Composite 12th, 13th Skipper, 14th CRR6, 15th Double, 16th Brother Adam. Then we have the non-finishers of, Lakatzis in 17th, and the non-finishes of Kazingal, Daniel and Hammer. Kazingal, I'm so gutted for you. Looked like you might have had that win pretty much in the bag, but unfortunately something happened through the castle section, so is what it is. Come back stronger next week, my friend. Talking about next week, we will be here same time for the Miami Grand Prix, round number 11, so we could see the title sewn up there, but hopefully it will continue to the 12th round at Japan. So thanks ever so much for tuning in tonight. Many congratulations to the podium of Kavolis, TGL Stewart and race winner Hammers.